The Punic Wars reshaped Rome in profound ways. The wars forced Rome to innovate militarily, especially at sea, and to develop flexible strategies to counter diverse threats. Rome's acquisition of Sicily, Sardinia, Corsica, and parts of Spain marked its first overseas provinces, setting a precedent for imperial expansion. The influx of wealth and slaves from conquered territories disrupted Roman society, leading to economic shifts and social tensions that would later challenge the Republic. Rome's victory over Carthage removed its greatest rival, allowing it to dominate trade routes, influence other states, and project power far beyond Italy. The Punic Wars were a turning point in Roman history, reshaping the city-state in profound and lasting ways. Here are some of the key reasons how these wars transformed Rome from a regional power into a Mediterranean empire. The Punic Wars forced Rome to dramatically expand and innovate its military capabilities. Initially a land-based power, Rome built a powerful navy from scratch to challenge Carthage's maritime dominance. Innovations like the corvus boarding device allowed Roman soldiers to fight effectively at sea. The wars also taught Rome to adapt its tactics to different enemies and terrains, from Hannibal's guerrilla-style warfare in Italy to large-scale sieges in North Africa. Before the Punic Wars, Rome's control was largely confined to the Italian peninsula. The wars resulted in Rome acquiring its first overseas provinces, Sicily, Sardinia, and Corsica after the First Punic War, and parts of Spain following the Second. These territorial gains marked the beginning of Roman imperialism, setting a precedent for further expansion beyond Italy's borders. The influx of wealth from conquered territories and war spoils transformed Rome's economy. Control over rich provinces brought new resources, trade opportunities, and slaves, fueling economic growth but also increasing inequality. Large estates owned by wealthy elites expanded, often worked by slaves, which contributed to the decline of small independent farmers and social tensions. The social changes triggered by the wars created deep political challenges. The displacement of small farmers led many to migrate to Rome, swelling the urban poor population and creating a volatile social environment. Wealthy generals who commanded armies loyal to them rather than the state gained political power, setting the stage for future conflicts and the eventual fall of the Roman Republic. The wars elevated military commanders like Scipio Africanus to national prominence. Their success on the battlefield earned them immense popularity and political influence. This shift contributed to the rise of personal armies loyal to their generals, undermining the authority of the Senate and Republican institutions. With Carthage destroyed and other rivals subdued, Rome emerged as the dominant power in the Western Mediterranean. Control of key trade routes and strategic ports allowed Rome to project power across the region, influencing the politics and economies of North Africa, Spain, and beyond. As Rome expanded, it encountered diverse peoples and cultures. The Punic Wars opened the door to increased interaction with the Hellenistic world, especially through the conquest of Greek-influenced territories in Spain and North Africa. This cultural exchange enriched Roman art, religion, and philosophy, shaping the empire's identity. The acquisition of new territories required Rome to develop systems of governance and law to manage its growing empire. The establishment of provincial administrations and the extension of Roman law to conquered peoples laid the groundwork for a more centralized and bureaucratic state. The Punic Wars instilled a new sense of confidence and ambition in Rome. The successful defeat of a powerful rival like Carthage convinced Romans that their destiny was to rule the Mediterranean world. This mindset fueled further military campaigns and territorial expansion in the following centuries. Finally, the Punic Wars set a precedent for Rome's approach to warfare and diplomacy: total war, decisive victories, and harsh treatment of defeated enemies. This approach would be repeated in later conflicts, such as the Macedonian Wars and the conquest of the Hellenistic kingdoms, further expanding Rome's empire. In summary, the Punic Wars were much more than a series of battles. They were a transformative era that reshaped Rome's military, economy, society, and political structure. These changes propelled Rome from a regional power struggling for survival into an empire destined to shape the course of Western civilization for centuries to come.